Yes. Hello students, welcome to our channel Pharmacology. Today we are going to discuss one of the second important topic, that is pemphigoid, and it is most commonly asked as a short question in the examination. It is a lesion of skin, and pemphigoid, as we have already discussed pemphigus. You have not watched my pemphigus video, please go back and first watch pemphigus, because most of the things and most of the clinical features are very much common with the pemphigus. So let's start the pemphigoid. Pemphigoid is similarly, it is a group of vesicobullous lesion, okay, which clinically resemble the pemphigus. Means what? It is also a vesicobullous lesion, okay. Means once the lesion get converted into the vesicle or the bullous, then what is, you must be thinking, sir, what is the difference between the pemphigoid and the pemphigus? Don't worry, in the coming few seconds I will tell you the difference between the pemphigus or the pemphigoid. The first difference, that it has only two types, that is cicatricial or the bullous. What is means by the cicatricial, I will explain within a few seconds. That is, the another name of the cicatricial pemphigoid is BMMP. What does BMMP means? That is benign mucous membrane pemphigoid. Also, it is also called as the ocular pemphigoid. The pemphigoid second part, that is bullous pemphigoid, it is called as parapemphigus. So what we have discussed right now is the definition, that is, it is a group of vesicobullous lesion clinically resemble the pemphigus, and the types of pemphigoid, that is cicatricial and the bullous. What I have just told you, what is the meaning of cicatricial? Just I have told you the cicatricial means the scar formation. What is a scar formation? You must have come into the daily life that once your wound heals, a scar like area, that is a thick, that is you can say a patch like area is left out, which is called a scar. So cicatricial means a scar like formation once the vesicle or the bulle rupture. Once the fluid inside the vesicle bulle comes out, the vesicle bulle is called ruptured vesicle bulle. With the time it heals and forms a scar-like pattern. Now, the proper definition and one second most important difference I am going to discuss is the definition, which is proper definition of the pemphigoid, as it is a chronic subepithelial. What you have to remember, that it is a subepithelial and it is an autoimmune disorder which predominantly involves the mucosal surface. As a result, mucosal blistering, ulceration and the scar formation occur. That means what you have discussed in the pemphigus, that pemphigus is a intraepithelial, intradermal, but I have told you already that pemphigoid is subepithelial. What is the difference? Means pemphigoid is inside the epithelium, whereas the intraepithelium, that is pemphigus, which is on the surface of the epithelium. So it is a chronic subepithelial disease which is autoimmune in nature, and predominantly it involves the mucosal surface, and there will be blistering, ulceration and the scarring. From this diagram, I am going to discuss about the etiopathogenesis. So, in the pemphigoid, 30% of the skin will be involved. Now come to the etiopathogenesis. You must be knowing from the physiology that two protein, that is epiglyrine and BPAG2, BP130, they are responsible for the connection between the basement membrane and the connective tissue. So, already discussed in the pemphigoid, remember what was the protein which was responsible for the connection between the cell to cell junction? They were desmoglein 1 and desmoglein 3 and the desmoglein 4. So the antibody, now what will happen is the basement membrane, which is made up of epiglyrine 1 and BPAG2, 130, the antibody IgG-A and the IgG is going to be formed against the epiglyrine and the BPAG. Here also there is a difference between the bullous and the cicatricial, that in the cicatricial the antibody are formed against the epiglyrine and the bullous BPAG2. So epiglyrine connects the basement membrane with the connective tissue, and so once the antibody are formed, the bond between or the connection between the basement membrane and the connective tissue is broken. Once the connection between the basement membrane and connective tissue is broken, there will be the difference is that the once the bullous or the lesion is being pressed, it will not move in the adjacent site. That means the Nikolsky sign will be negative. Okay, that means the Nikolsky sign will be negative. So in the diagram you are seeing that, see, this is the upper layer of epithelium, that is flat squamous cell epithelium, then the tall columnar epithelium, and this is the basement membrane. Here the connection is like this. This is connected with the basement membrane. The hemidesmosomal junction will be here formed, and there once the antibody are formed, this connection will be lost. Once the connection is lost, see here, once the connection is lost, the connective tissue is not connected with the basement membrane, and so hemidesmosomal junction is lost. So cell to cell junction connectivity is lost, the cleft formation occur, the vesicle or the bullous formation take place. Now coming to the clinical feature, that is similarly age, sex and site. We have discussed in every video that age, sex and site are some most common feature. Age 50 to 60 year, that is 4th to 6th decade of the life, 5th to 6th decade of the life. Sex, in the pemphigus we have talked that male to female ratio is almost equal, but here female ratio is more than the male. Means females are more commonly affected with the pemphigoid than the male. The ratio is 2:1. The site is oral vesicle or the conjunctiva, the vagina, the penis, skin around the genitalia, and all the common site where the pemphigus was attacking. Lesion heals by the scar formation. This is one next common difference between the pemphigus and the pemphigoid. So the lesion heals by the scar formation and some most common distinctive feature. Now I am going to discuss one by one what are the area involved and the feature. So first, vesicle or bulla with thick and takes time to rupture because it is subepithelial. So it takes time to rupture because with short trauma it cannot be ruptured and it can persist for 1 to 2 days. Then the ocular lesion. Most common complication is the ocular lesion or subconjunctival fibrosis. There will be scarring between the bulbar or the palpebral conjunctiva. A simple phenomenon, and even inside of the eyelid the lesion can occur. Once inside the eyelid the lesion occur, there will be formation of a scar or the keratosis, and which will finally lead to the blindness, one more serious condition. In the entropion eye means that the eyelid get turned inward, आंख अंदर की तरफ चला जाता है, and the trichiasis, that is eye dry or because of the closure of the opening of the lacrimal gland, means trichiasis is occurring. So what are the features that is occurring? That distinctive feature, ocular lesion, conjunctival, palpebral and bulbar conjunctiva is being affected, entropion eye is seen, trichiasis is seen because of the closure of the opening of lacrimal gland and eye becomes dry. Nikolsky sign is here negative. In the pemphigus, Nikolsky sign was positive. Here the epiglyrine is affected by the antibody and some drug like cocaine is also involved with it. So now I am going to discuss with you people, the clinical feature is over, and then I am going to discuss with you the oral manifestation that in which the gingiva is most commonly affected and the mucosal lesion. Since it is a mucosa affecting, so blister will be inside the mucosa and the bulle, which will be relatively thick walled, and it will leave a raw, or it will leave an area of rupturing or a scar and the bleeding surface. So it is a chronic desquamative gingivitis will be seen. You will be taught about the chronic desquamative gingivitis in the perio lecture, that once the gingiva is affected, then there will be chronic gingivitis, inflammation of gingiva, and in the rupture form it will be seen. Now I am going to discuss with you people the histopathological feature. See somewhere in the diagram that histopathological feature and the immunofluorescence and the bullous lesion. So next, histopathological feature. Now the histopathological feature that it is subepithelial or subepidermal cleft will be seen. In the pemphigoid, we used to see that there was subbasilar or suprabasilar cleft or suprabasilar split was seen. Here the vesica or bulla will be seen same as the pemphigus. There will be the disruption of basement membrane in the connective tissue. Means connective tissue will be disrupted from the basement membrane. It is seen in the pemphigoid only. No evidence of acantholysis, that is no cell morphology lost, no Lugen cells will be seen. So the acantholysis will be absent. There will be non-specific chronic inflammatory cells like lymphocyte, plasma cells, PMNLs, etc. will be present. These are the some histopathological features of the pemphigoid. Now the immunofluorescence, that IgG and the C3. In the immunofluorescence, the indirect anti-epiglyrine indicated in the patient serum. Now the bullous pemphigoid. In the bullous pemphigoid, we are seeing that the other name is parapemphigus. In the bullous pemphigoid, the first skin is affected, then the oral mucous membrane is affected. Here, since the basement membrane and the connective tissue junction is lost, so the Nikolsky sign will be negative and the subepithelial split will be similarly seen here also. First, the skin age 60 to 80 years with 6 to 8 decade of the life, and sex male and female equally affected. In the cicatricial, the male and female was more affected. The first, and it is similar to the pemphigus. The first is skin atrocardia and then vesicle or the bulla is happening. Means first skin is brownish and then vesicle or bulla will be seen. Now the oral lesion is very less common in the bullous pemphigoid, but the gingiva is most commonly affected. In the gingiva, the chronic desquamative gingivitis, as I have told you earlier, is seen. In the bullous pemphigoid, the antibody already told with you that will be formed against the BPAG1 and the 2, which is the main protein for the basement membrane and the connective tissue junction. There will be no scar healing. That means during the healing, a scar will not be formed, and the pruritus will be the early symptom during the healing. Now the treatment for the pemphigoid is either the bullous or the cicatricial, that will be corticosteroids and the ointment. Now the differential diagnosis of the pemphigoid, that is pemphigus, erythema multiforme, bullous type, and the oral lichen planus. So this was all about the pemphigoid. Discussed with you the two types, cicatricial, once revised fastly. Cicatricial bullous, cicatricial BMMP, white cicatricial, so a scar formation, it is a chronic, and in the etiopathogenesis epiglyrine and the BPAG1 and 2 against autoimmunity is formed, so the hemidesmosomal junction is lost, and then finally the cell to cell junction is lost, and so the connectivity is lost, and Nikolsky sign is negative, age 50 to 60 to 80 years, In the cicatricial female more affected, male and in the bullous type male and female equally affected. So distinctive feature vesicle or bulla. Then the histopathological feature I have discussed with you, that is subepithelial split, disruption of basement membrane, acantholysis, etc., and the inflammatory cells. The treatment that is corticosteroids, and the differential diagnosis, that is pemphigus, erythema multiforme, and the OLP. These all were the some important features of the pemphigoid. So in the next I am going to discuss with you the COVID about the details of the COVID first, and then I am going to discuss with you the second topic in the disease, that will be the diseases of nerves. I am going to start, that is the trigeminal neuralgia. Okay, so if you are liking my video and if you are understanding my video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel, that is Pharmacology Adda. And once my OP is completed, I am going to discuss with you the whole treatment with the pharmacology point of view, their mode of action, and then we'll switch to the anatomy. So stay tuned with me, that is Pharmacology Adda. Thanks for watching my channel. Please like, share and subscribe.